So we need to put on all our safety gear. So we need to put on an apron in case anything splashes and gets on our shirt, like bleach. We need goggles in case something gets in our eye, like bleach. We need gloves in case we're working with food dye or hot material or sharp material or electricals. This is what we are doing today in class. And this is the right way to do it all. Lovely. Good thing I was wearing the gloves. Now it's time to make the blue volcano. Beautiful, luxurious color blue. So there are a few safety symbols that we should be using in science. The first one is goggles. You should always wear goggles because you don't know what could happen to your eyes if you get chemicals in your eyes. Number 2 is gloves. You should always wear gloves in case the chemical you're working with could be an irritant, very hot, or electrical, or it could stain your hands. So these will protect your hands from that. Third, you should always be wearing an apron. In case you're working with a chemical that might stain, like bleach, then you should always be wearing an apron because you don't want to ruin your favorite shirt. Fourth, you should always be noticed of chemicals. You will very likely use certain chemicals, and so you want to know which ones are chemicals and which ones water is a chemical. Like, which one's just like nothing really dangerous about it. And last but not least are the dangerous chemicals. You should always consider any chemical a dangerous one. Because if it looks and smells like orange juice, and you think it's orange juice, and you drink it, and it turns out it's not orange juice, well, there you go. So you should always consider every single chemical dangerous. Now, what was wrong with the first science experiment was he did unauthorized experiments, so he just kind of did what he wanted. And then he didn't wear any gloves, any apron, no goggles. So what if it got in his eyes and it blinded him? Or got on his hand and it stained his hand? And lastly, he tried to clean up all his messes himself. And you should always alert a teacher if you make a mess, because they're willing to risk their lives more than you sometimes. And finally, some important things to be aware of if you're doing a lab is you should always alert the teacher of any dangerous happening, like if you spill or there's a fire or anything. You should always alert the teacher. Second, consider every chemical dangerous. As I stated earlier, it could look like grape juice. You drink it, oh no, there you go, you're lying on the floor. And third, you should always know your exits and fire extinguishers in case the teacher left the room and you're playing with gasoline and then you don't know what to do. So you need to know where your exits and fire extinguishers are so you can put out the fire and look like a hero. And that's my point of view on science safety.